Okay, step number 3 is who buys from you the quickest and the easiest. Not everyone is your customer. You cannot sell meat to a vegetarian. It doesn't matter how fancy your meat is, if it's been blessed by the Pope or grew on the moon, whatever it is, whatever your sales pitch, how fancy your meat is, a vegetarian is never going to buy your meat products. So we learned in the first step that you have to find these red hot niches. All right, then you have to learn to stand out in those red hot niches. But inside those red hot niches, where there's lots and lots and lots of customers, out of those customers you will find groups of customers who will buy from you quicker and easier than other groups of customers. And what I show you in step 3 and teach you is what I call the hot pot method. So I classify in this red hot niche with all these customers who are all buying. Who out of all those clumps of customers will buy from you the quickest and easiest? That is called your hot pot. Those are the customers you want to focus on. This is how you get real accurate marketing messages and sales pitches. This is step 3 right in the beginning. What most people do with sales and marketing, they do all their presentations and pitches, they don't really understand who their customers are. Their real customers, which I'm going to come to in a second. Very, very important. So you want to find your hot pot. That's the first step in step 3. And this is very important. The cash is in the want, not the need. Customers will buy easily if they want something, not if they need something. Let me give you a really great example. I used to run business networking groups, workshop groups for businesses in Australia and New Zealand. And in one of these sessions, there was a guy from a finance company who specialized in the restaurant industry. And he'd sell, finance for equipment, furniture, etc. He came to my workshops, he saw the structure, all the workbooks, and he thought this is just the best thing he's ever seen. He wants to take this concept into the restaurant industry because of the structure. They start at one point, they move through, etc. Fantastic. I said, for sure, we're going to do it. Let's do it. He then went to the Queensland Catering Association, which is the largest association for restaurants in the province here where I live, Queensland. We presented, they loved it, absolutely endorsed it. This was about 10, 12 years ago. And they said, we're going to promote it to our 4,000 or 5,000 members or whatever it is at the time. So we thought this was just going to be the best thing that ever hit the earth. You got this huge organization, huge authority in this niche, promoting it, endorsing it. This guy who had this finance company was well known amongst all the restaurants. And we launched this thing in their magazines and blah, blah, blah. And guess what happened? Nothing. We sold almost nothing. Why? These restaurants desperately needed this help because 96% of restaurants fail, and the ones who make it don't make much money. There's very few really successful, profitable restaurants. It doesn't matter. They desperately needed this stuff. Did they want it? No. So they didn't buy it. People go into Walmart, Best Buys, and they spend thousands and thousands of dollars on the new home theater and the fanciest TVs. They go and buy brand new cars. They go out for dinner. They go on $10,000 holidays. They don't have the money. Most of them, they go on credit card. They extend their mortgages. They go into debt to do this stuff. It doesn't matter. They want it, therefore they buy it. They want the latest iPhone. They sleep outside a store for 3 days. Yes, they really do. And they'll just spend money. This is what I call where the cash is flowing easily. You're not going to change people's buying behaviors. That's not your job. You're there to sell them things that they want. This is the difference between the want and the need. And the final piece for step 3, which is so important, is when you do step 3, what I teach you when you do this hot pot method, you will discover who are your real customers. There is a huge difference between what is my marketing avatar, my ideal customer, versus the people who are really going to pay you cash for. I've given you some examples of my own business where I had this ideal dream or whatever, I'm going to sell to all these people. And then, this finance example, these are our ideal customers who are going to buy for us. Well, then none of them bought. The real customers are the people who hand over cash to you. That's a big difference. That's your hot pot. That's what you need to be focusing on for the next step coming up. Okay, step number 4. Here we learn to design your products to sell more quicker. Here's what most businesses do. They design a product or service, they get all the marketing collateral done, they prepare all the PowerPoint presentations, all the sales pitch, train their sales staff, and off they go. What you don't want to do is you don't want to create your product or service first ever. What you want to do is you want to find out exactly what your customers want to buy from you, not what you want to sell them. And the way you do that is through research, and I show you exactly how to do this all in step number 4. I know it's a pain in the butt doing research. Not many people like to do it, that's why they don't do it, but you have to do it. And there's a specific way you must do it to get the right answers. Otherwise it's all a waste of time. But it is truly worth it in the end, because when you find out exactly what your customers truly want, what you do is you tailor match your solution. You're giving them exactly what they want. It's not rocket science. You just have to learn how to do it properly. I've got 2 examples for you. 2 examples of products and services. I've already touched on them earlier. The first one is the family PC bundle that I explained earlier. That thing was, like I said, probably about $10 million worth of sales from that one single product of just listening to where families, my real customers, were struggling, where no other competition was providing that solution they desperately wanted. So I tailor-matched my solution for what they were asking from me. The second thing was that the no finance easy payment solution for finance. I've already told you that, but this is where I designed all this in step number 4. By doing all that research up front and then matching exactly what customers are asking, giving to them, that's what exploded that business into a $12 million business so quickly. Not because I'm a rocket scientist or think I've got the answers. I simply followed my process that I'm teaching you now. Now, quickly want to show you something very, very important about these first 4 steps. In step 1, you found the lucrative sweet spot where the cash is flowing easily, the red hot niches. Then once inside those niches, you learned how in step 2 how to stand out in that crowd, become the business customers want to buy from. In step 3, we learned how to find your hot pot, the real customers amongst all these customers, which group is now going to buy from you the quickest and the easiest. And then in step 4, we found which products and services, or how do you tailor products and services that these customers who are buying from you the quickest, which products and services are they now going to buy from you the quickest and the easiest out of all these products available in the market. And when you put those 4 steps together, you get the quickest route to the cash. This is not a magic potion show. This is a logical process of how cash flows and our customers buy. Okay, in step number 5, we're going to learn how to design a hook and an upsell funnel. Now, this is really important. You cannot design a hook if you don't know what your customers truly want. And you cannot design an upsell funnel if you don't know what products and services your customers truly want to buy. This is why so many businesses struggle with sales, because they haven't got these pieces right before they design all their products and their upsell funnels. So how do you do this? First of all, we attract customers via an irresistible hook. Now, what is the purpose of a hook? The purpose of a hook, like any sales process, is first of all to establish trust with your customer. Before the sales process begins, you need to establish trust with your customer. If customers don't trust you, it doesn't really matter how fancy your product and services, the chances of them buying from you is very, very slim. So the hook product's purpose is to allow them to trust your value. Are you good? Do you say what you do? Is your product stack up? And if you're an ethical business person, you would have no problem allowing customers to test you and try you out first. It's the shady bastards out there who just want to grab your money. They don't want to give you a chance. They'd rather take your money than fight with you when things don't work. Am I right? I am right. You don't want to do business like that. So you design a hook with the first knowledge of the first steps. What do they really want? Let me give you an example. A hypothetical example. Let's say you had a dairy products company and you wanted to sell yogurt and you wanted to get into the supermarkets. You wouldn't try and sell a yogurt such as like a crazy flavor like pumpkin because you think it's the next trend, whatever that you think is good. The reason why is because most people who go to a supermarket to buy yogurt buy the most popular flavor. For example, let's say it's chocolate. So everyone just naturally buys chocolate yogurt. They have their favorite brands, but chocolate yogurt is the go. So let's say your brand is called Jane's Yogurt. You want to create something that customers truly want, chocolate yogurt. So you put it in there, and then when customers taste Jane's beautiful chocolate yogurt, whatever your little spin on that chocolate yogurt is, they say, wow, Jane's chocolate's really good. I'd love to try her vanilla flavor and this, what is this crazy pumpkin flavor she's got going on here? But if you try and put the wrong hook up front, that is too much of a risk for customers. I mentioned earlier, if other people are not buying, if it's brand new, people are not touching it, generally customers wait for someone else to do it and then it's safe to do it, just the way we are. So once you've got this hook established, then you create your upsell funnel. Then you move them naturally because they trust you, this works, your support is good, you've got good customer support, whatever your deal is. You then move them up to the higher priced items or cross-sell items. So once people test and try Jane's beautiful chocolate yogurt, they will say, let me try Jane's custards, let me try Jane's ice cream range, let me try Jane's cooking creams, for example. So this is how an irresistible hook based on research and process that I've shown you and how you build your upsell funnel. And then very importantly, in step 5 that I teach you is building back-end revenue streams. This is how you make passive income in your business. Now I'm going to show you a lot more about this in the joint venture section coming up. But your back-end revenue streams is where you make your real money. So in the example of my first business, my finance company, when we sold these, my computer company, when we had the finance deal going on, every time we sold finance to a customer, we got trailing commission, which was unbelievable. There's money just coming in the back end. It was like free money. Every month I get this great check for this amount I couldn't believe for just doing what we were doing anyway, selling computers and printers. That's called setting up back-end revenue streams in your business. And most businesses have this opportunity. Most business owners just don't know it exists or how to put it together. That's exactly what I teach you in step 5. It's the start of how you start building passive recurring income streams into your business.